So here we are in SAP and we want to create a production order which is executed at the shop floor. We start with creating a production order. First question is about the material. So let's choose a particular material. In this example, we want to create a box. We will execute this production in this particular production plant 300, and it's a standard production plant order. Here we have a sheet that gives us more details regarding this particular order. And first we have to enter our quantities. Let's produce 11 pieces. Next question is by when those pieces should be produced. And let's say we want to have it ready by tomorrow the 19th. Well, that's already the most important information needed. Next, release our order. And then we save it. By saving it, we created our production order 11618. And because it's already released, it should be now visible in our shop floor terminal in the production. So let's go there. Here we can see our production order, which we have just created. 11618. 11 pieces, and this is operation number 10. If we go to the next workplace, we find the same order with the operation 20. So let's have a look into SAP again and find out about the status of this particular order and operation. This means we have to go back and we want to display a particular order. The last order is already selected. And we see right now its status is released. And material is available because this was set up in the background automatically. Now, let's have a look at the operations. And we have two operations. 10 and 20. They have a specified end date. We expect 11 pieces. And most important, the release status here is released, nothing else. So let's go to the terminal now. And let's start working on this particular operation. First, I need to prepare my machine. While I set up my machine, time is counting. And we see over here, my target setup time is 3 minutes. And I have already spent 5 seconds on maintaining and preparing my machine. Of course, this is also visible in our reporting timelines. Let's have a quick look. And indeed, we have our machine ERP 01. And if we zoom in on our timeline, here we see already we have the reality in the timeline setup was started. Let's go back to the terminal. Let's assume we have prepared the machine. So now we switch to operation processing. So in other words, we start the operation. Our machine is already running and the green color indicates the operating state production. Let's have a look at what happened in SAP in the meantime. So we have to go back and in again. And here we see our order is already partially confirmed. Which means it is not only in released and the material is ready, but this status came on top. So this means this order was started and is in production. Let's have a look at the operation. Now we see we have milestones here, partially confirmed. This means already our order and operations are synchronized with the real production. Let us now produce some parts. So you see down here I've produced 3 pieces from the machine, but actually they don't show up in the yield field yet. This means I myself as a worker has to give the quantity reasons. So, okay, they are all good and yield pieces, I would have now the option to claim certain parts are broken, but in our case, let's say we have produced 3 yield pieces. I was told that I should stop this operation and it should move to the next workplace because we're in a hurry. Meaning I will not produce all 11 pieces, but I will stop the operation at this point. No further parts being produced means we have executed operation number 10. And because it's done, it disappears from my to-do list. Let's quickly do the same with the second operation. So it is in setup right now, but we will not wait much longer because this procedure is actually the same like we have done on ERP 01. We go back into processing and let's say we produced 1 piece. In here, because I might not have a machine workplace, I can enter this manually. Accepting it, and I produced 1 yield piece. So I end my processing at this point. No further quantities for this demo, and I'm done with my execution. Let's have a look at what happened in SAP. So we want to display the production order, and here we see it's confirmed. This means this particular order is now executed. Let's have a more detailed look at the operations. We have our 2 operations here, 10 and 20, and they were originally released. We see their milestones and now they are confirmed as well, meaning both operations are closed. Let's have a look at the produced quantities. And we see initially we had 11 pieces. But then at the first workplace we only executed 3. This automatically updated the target quantities for the second operation because only 3 materials were available. Then from these 3 pieces we only produced 1 yield at the second workplace. This means now we have completely synchronized the ERP and the production, and now we can ship these parts to our customer. Now let's have a look at much more details that are available in the reporting for this execution we just saw. Here we have again our order with the operations 10 and 20. We produced a particular material and we had initially 11 pieces planned, and 3 was the plan for the second operation because we have changed the operation quantity at the first workplace. We had 4 minutes target time for the first workplace, and in fact we only needed 45 seconds. Which means it's 3 minutes better, and actually it's 81% better than our plan. At the second workplace we had 6-minute target setup time, and now comparing this, we have saved 5 minutes and 25 seconds, so a saving of 90%. Our execution was much better. We had a planned starting time and planned finish time, and of course again we see the actual values and what happened in reality, with the start and end setup time and processing start and end time. Here we have the total produced quantity of 3, with 3 yield pieces, and at the second operation it was only 1 yield piece. Next important element is setup time. We had a target and we had a real setup time, and again we have the absolute and percentage deviation available here. This means I can optimize, I can find the highest deviation and then work on improving this day by day. And as our last one, we have the OEE, not for a machine, but for the operations. So how well did we execute? Concerning the availability, how good was our performance? And because we have produced much faster, our performance is extremely well. We had no scrap, so we have 100% quality. And because we have been so fast, we have extremely good OEE values here.